Hey there, guys. It's Barncat here. Hope you're all having a wonderful Tuesday today. And as mentioned, a lot of you have probably seen that it's pretty much out now. The 2026 NASCAR Cup Series schedule is out now. No Jordan Bianchi, from the Athletic. He pretty much posted the schedule, and it's all pretty much all confirming, what it's gonna be until NASCAR puts it out, sometime later this week. So I got the 2026 schedule pulled up, and I also got the 2025 schedule, this year's schedule put up. So let's go ahead and run through the schedule, see the changes that were made, and let's go right into it. So basically, the first six races, if you count Bowman Gray Stadium, they stay the same. No Clash at Bowman Gray Stadium. Then you got the Daytona 500. Then after that, you go to Echo Park at Atlanta. No, those all stay the same. They're all on the same weekend. And then, we go take the West Coast swing. You go to Circuit of the Americas. Then we go to Phoenix. Then Las Vegas, which, again, those all stay the same. No, nothing's changed there. Until we get to the weekend of Sunday, March 22nd, which happens to be Darlington, which is really odd because this is the first time in since 2004 that I saw that Darlington will be racing in March, right? And the last time they did that, was like I said, 2004. No, Jimmy Johnson went on to win that race, and that was before they cut the second Darlington date to give it to, I think, was what, California, for where it was given to someone else, for that weekend. And so, that's an interesting move. They've been moving it up recently. From what Mother's Day weekend, and then this year was in April. Also, and that replaces what are we looking at here? The Homestead weekend, which we know is now going to be the finale. So there's that replacement. So then we then go to the following week at Martinsville, which that stays the same. And then Sunday, April 5th. No, that's Easter weekend, so the Cup Series has off that weekend, which, if I have to take a guess here, that'll be the weekend where the Xfinity and the Truck Series will run at Rockingham. And then after that, after the off week, they go to Bristol, which that doesn't change. And then Sunday, April 19th, they will be racing at Kansas, which has been moved up from May, and that would pretty much fills in the gap from this year, which, that weekend was Easter. So then after Kansas, they go to Talladega, which no change there. Then the beginning of May, they go to Texas, which is no different. And here's an interesting one right here. Sunday, May 10th, Watkins Glen. They've moved Watkins Glen all the way from August up to May, which is, I believe, I saw that's Mother's Day weekend. Now, throughout the whole history of them racing at Watkins Glen, they've only moved out of August 3 times. They did it in 1964 and 65, where they ran it in July. And then they did it last year, 2024, when they had it in the playoffs. So, obviously, this will be a big ratings boost for Watkins Glen, because normally the earlier races, they get a higher ratings boost, and also won't compete. Well, technically not competing with the NFL yet, but basically, more people will probably watch Watkins Glen, so pretty much this is more of a win for Watkins Glen than anything else. Then the following week after that, then they have their All-Star race, which will finish up the Fox portion. They have that Dover, which, that's been speculated for a while, for the last, week or two. That was being speculated, which is going to be interesting because, Dover doesn't have lights. So, if they make that to a day race, that'll be something. I guess you can say different, because they haven't raced the All-Star race during the day since, 91, I believe it was, before they put lights on Charlotte. So, honestly, I'm not a real big fan. Personally, myself, I'm not a fan of that, moving it to Dover, because obviously the racing at that type of track is not exactly going to be the greatest, considering the fact, which is a larger Bristol, and I remember the All-Star race at Bristol wasn't that great, and they only had like half a field. So I don't know, I guess I'll try it, but I don't think it's going to go real well. Then also, we go down to technically not the last weekend of May, the second to last weekend in May, which is the Coke 600, which starts off our Amazon Prime portion of the schedule, and that lead doesn't necessarily change. No, it's still the same weekend. And then Sunday, May 31st, which is the last weekend, which is Nashville, which got moved up because since Nashville this year was on June 1st. So no change there. June 7th, Michigan, which is again no change. Change of this year. Pocono, no June 14th. There's no. I guess there's a little bit of change there because that weekend, well, I believe that might be Father's Day weekend, and that was given to Mexico City, in which we're not going back there yet. And then June 21st is San Diego, which basically is a flip flop. Pocono was on that same weekend this year, so they pretty much flip flop Pocono and San Diego. And San Diego is the last race on the Prime schedule. So basically, Amazon Prime, they get two big races. The Coke 600, and then the big San Diego race. At the naval base. From there, they go on to the last weekend in June, which is Sonoma, which will kick off our TNT schedule, which changes with the second Atlanta race, which kicked off this year's TNT schedule. And then 4th of July weekend, Sunday, July 5th. That's at Chicagoland. They'll be returning to Chicagoland, which is really not much a surprise there, considering the fact that it was unsure what was going to happen with the Chicago street race. So obviously they're not coming back. Then July 12th, they're heading to Atlanta or Echo Park, which flip flops with the Sonoma race schedule. And then you got Sunday, July 19th, which happens to be North Wilkesboro. North Wilkesboro gets a points race after being 3 seasons as an all-star race, which I personally am more excited about because in my mind the racing will be better, with lap traffic and all that, and hopefully, they bring a soft tire, and hopefully NASCAR makes changes to the car, race on the short tracks a little bit better. That flips with the Dover race, which is, like I said earlier, that gets the All-Star race. And then July 26th, the last weekend in July, it's the Brickyard, that ends the TNT schedule, which is no change there, it's how it was this year. And then Sunday, August 2nd, they get an off week, which is a little bit different because this year, same weekend, they raced at Iowa, not just actually a few weeks ago. Well, they raced at Iowa. They'll have an off week. This is their second off week, which is actually a bit of a surprise because I can't recall off the top of my head for really no reason they had a second off weekend. Like I know last year they had the Olympic break, and then they had the pandemic in 2020 where we had, 7, 8 weeks off. So I can't recall off the top of my head. The last time we had 2 off weekends and there was nothing that had a reason for them to be off for 2 weeks. So obviously that's going to be big for the teams. Obviously long 10-month schedule, 36 weeks. Obviously be great for them to have another break. Then Sunday, August 9th is Iowa, which again, everything kind of just pushes down. It replaces the Watkins Glen weekend. Then August 15th, which happens to be fall on with Richmond, which just happened this past weekend, and which honestly, that was a great race. I was there for that one to watch Austin Dillon prove it. That last year won no fluke. And then we got New Hampshire, August 23rd, which gets bumped out of the playoffs, which was this year, it's going to start the round of 12. This year, it's the second to last race, which I guess, if you want to say, replaces Richmond, so. And then, the last weekend in August, it's the season finale at Daytona, which, season finale this year, the regular season finale will be this year, coming up this weekend. And that's when we start breaking off into the playoffs. The first weekend in September, it's Darlington, Labor Day weekend, and which is how it's going to be this year on August 31st. September 6th, September 6th is Darlington. September 13th is Gateway, which is no different this year. September 7th, and then the last race in the round of 16 will be Bristol, which this year it's September 13th, and next year will be September 19th. So basically, everything's now pushed a week down further from after the second off weekend. Then go in the round of 12. I said New Hampshire, which gets replaced by Kansas. Kansas was in the Actually, no, it actually got moved up. Kansas is now the opener of the second round. This year, it's the second race in the second round. So, yeah, Kansas got moved up and it's on the same weekend. Then October 4th, Las Vegas, which is, no, well, it's actually not different here. It's actually, Las Vegas got moved up too. No, this year is starting the round of 8. Now it's the second race in the round of 12. Then, no, October 11th, which is, no, the Charlotte Roval, that ends round 2, which is pretty much no different this year. It ends around the 12 on October 5th at the Roval. Now I'm a little disappointed in that. No, myself and a lot of other people know we want to see the oval back, the second oval race at Charlotte, but no, beggars can't be choosers. So, oh well. Then we start off the round of 8. No, we go to Phoenix, which got moved up from the season finale this year, and then then October 25th. No, we got Talladega, which is the second race of the round of 8, which is no different this year. Then Sunday, November 1st is Martinsville, which ends the round of 8, which is how it is this year. And then November 8th, which is the season finale at Homestead, which obviously replaces Phoenix. So, I mean, obviously, a few a lot of minor changes, it looks like. A few big changes. Again, I'm surprised to see Watkins Glen moved up so high on the schedule, because again, they've only done it 3 times in the many years they've raced at Watkins Glen. And then, obviously, I'm excited for North Wilkesboro to get a points date, and then, well, what else am I excited for here? You're gonna look back through the schedule here. Also, see San Diego, see how that's gonna go, and then, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I mean, there's not much else to say about. I don't know. Also, we hope. Whenever the 2026 Xfinity schedule and Chuck schedule comes out, I'll probably talk about that again, but overall, I think that's really about it. All right, I guess I'll talk to y'all later, and y'all take it easy.